Hey, our mission at Loc-Doc Security is to help you protect your people and your property, and we're going to be talking really about protecting your property today. This is something that we commonly get asked about, and as always, Kevin comes with object lessons. So
yes, props.
Yeah,
props and safety equipment.
Safety. It's always going to be a fun day whenever we have to wear safety equipment. But
yes,
we're going to be answering the question today: what happens to my building if the power goes out? How are my doors secured if the power goes out?
Right. So today we're basically going to be focusing on customers or people that have access control systems on their exterior doors. Primarily those folks that utilize mag locks in order to hold those doors secure.
Okay, and it's interesting because at various times of the year, you think about it, how common is a power outage on a facility? And it depends on the time of year, really. I mean, when you're in the summertime, there's thunderstorms, you get into the fall, and then you have some hurricane situations, depending what area of the country. There's always an opportunity for the power to go out. Maybe there's an accident, and it takes out power in the entire area. We, at our office, recently, over the past couple of weeks, have had a couple of power outages just randomly in the middle of the day.
Yep.
So it happens, and if your building is secured with this type of a lock, then what is the result of it?
Right. And, and there are a lot of systems that do have battery backups.
Sure.
But, those are only going to last for so long because the way the maglock works is it requires constant electricity or constant draw in order to hold that door secure. So if you're in a situation like you'd said, if there's a thunderstorm, or a heaven forbid a hurricane that comes through and power is out for an extended period of time. I mean, we're talking weeks. This is obviously not, your battery supply is going to maybe last 3 or 4 hours, and that's it. And then you're kind of in a little bit of a pickle. Flashback a few years ago when we had a really big storm come through, we actually noticed this problem a lot with a lot of office buildings. We got hit pretty hard here in Uptown, and power was out for over a week.
Yeah.
And after about the second day, we started getting these calls like, my door is not locked, my door is not secure, I need you to come lock it down. And I've also talked to other customers, like their biggest concern was like during the winter time.
Yeah. Ice storms,
and the power goes out, and they, this particular customer that I'm thinking of, they only had like 2 maintenance guys, and they had like 10 facilities.
Yeah.
So if the power went out, and all their stuff was like remote or on a mag lock.
Sure.
So if the power went out, those 2 guys had to literally drive around to all 11 locations and physically lock the door because the mag locks weren't working because there's no power.
And then on top of that, the unlocking of all those is a similar situation because nobody's carrying keys.
Nobody's carrying a key because everybody's using the access control system, for the mag locks. And then as soon as power comes back on, they're going back out to unlock the doors.
Okay. So what does happen if the power goes out? So
this is our experiment for today, and this is a fairly small, fairly simple setup here. Obviously, in an access control system, it'd be a lot more complex. But what this is just a mag lock that you would find on a door, and this could be on a wood door, a metal door, or a storefront door. And I'm gonna simulate some electricity. Ooh. So you can see that we've got our red light here. So we have power. So when there's power to the system, and the door is open, so the door has swung away. This is like just a little metal plate or an armature that would attach to the door. This is what's physically secured to the door. When that door closes and the power is on and the system is working, it magnetically holds, so this would be mounted on the door frame itself. Yeah. And as you can see here, it's on there. Okay, so the door power's on, the door is secure. Now, if you're swiping a badge or putting in a code, that power is temporarily released, and then it comes back on, and then when the door shuts again, it's locked. Now, this is all well and good again while power is on, but let's say you lose power for an extended period of time.
Uh-oh. This is scary.
Yes. So again, just for illustrative purposes, do not do this at home. You can see it will not hold. Again, that really has no significance on anything. I just wanted to bring my hard hat in here and get knocked around a little bit.
You wanted to show off your hard hat.
Correct.
It is a nice looking hard hat.
Thank you. It's just a little bit of shock and awe.
Yeah. So the reason, the fundamentals that you're talking about here is immediately upon power loss, if there's no battery backup or when the battery fails, then the door immediately becomes...
It's immediately unlocked, again, unless you go back and physically lock it. Typical situations like this you would see on a storefront door, they'll probably have a swing bolt or a hook bolt, which I know Zach had covered in a previous episode. So again, you would have to physically go back and lock those things.
So what's an alternate solution for this? If this is a situation and I start walking through my building and I look up and go, hey, well, we do have mag locks up here. We do have this situation here. What can I do about it?
So what we like to do is we like to switch everything over, or we like to recommend at every possible opportunity a physically latching solution with an electric strike.
Okay, so they have situations where you can have the door that latches. It requires power to unlock, not power to lock it.
Correct. Power to unlock, not to lock. So again, in this same particular instance, if you have a building with an electric strike and the power goes out, that's not, I mean, it's a huge deal if you want to get back in.
Yeah.
But, you know, in most of those instances, especially with office buildings, if you can't get into the building because there's power, more than likely you're probably not working.
Yeah.
You're working remotely, or the building's closed for the day. Especially, you know, someone like us who does a lot, you know, a lot of our stuff relies on cloud, and you know, everything's remote and electricity and computers and things of that nature. So there's really not a huge problem if you have trouble getting in.
Yeah.
It's more or less, you know,
Wanting to secure it.
wanting to secure it. So again, when that power goes out, that door's latched. I don't have to send anybody by to, you know, throw the bolt or lock the door down. It's automatic. It's already done. And then as soon as power's restored, the system goes right back online and you're back in business.
Very good. Well, if you think that you have something like this, or you're interested in making sure that this isn't a problem for your facility, click the link below and connect with us. We'll be happy to assess your facility, give you some recommendations, and maybe you come back with a clean bill of health and we say, hey, you're actually good to go, and it doesn't require Kevin and his hard hat. But if you would like to chat with us about that, click the link below, and obviously you can read more information about exactly what we're talking about today. So thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.